Knight of Cups, front and center. Okay. The Knight of Cups. Something flirty, something romantic, something new. Some kind of new relationship. What else with this Knight of Cups? Who is this Knight of Cups? This person is a giver. They're devoted. They're a loving person. We have the King of Cups, the Four of Swords, and the Queen of Swords coming out. This person is looking to grow into the King of Cups. From the Knight of Cups to the King of Cups, that's one step up when it comes to your heart center and being able to use it in a way that not only helps this person, but helps everyone else around him. He's not a toxic giver. He's not a toxic person that pretends to be a do-gooder, that pretends to be caring, respectful, and doesn't. This is a person that actually does what he says, means what he says. This person doesn't say things just to win you over. He's not a charmer. He's not a fake charmer that says anything to a woman to make her feel like he likes her. Meanwhile, it's all fake. It's all a facade. It's all a game. It's literally giving me, this person is not going to be scrolling through your Instagram and trying to find clues on what to say to make your boundaries go down. Someone that's very manipulative, whether good or bad, if they're trying to get on your good side, they'll do research on you. Male or female, we all look at other people's profiles to kind of get a energetic read on somebody just from the curation of photos that they show or videos. Even though it's all usually our best selves, we don't really post things that are showing us in a negative light. But someone could use that for the good of trying to develop conversation with somebody and get to know them, actually really get to know them, to research who they are because they generally are interested in them, versus a man that will look at your profile and look for clues on what to say to you, like keywords, to make you feel like you guys are connecting, to make you feel like he actually is into you, but he's just using these keywords to win you over. It's a game to him. It's like catching a bunny. He doesn't have attachment to the bunny. He's just in it for the game, if that makes sense. So this person is exact opposite of that. And they lead from their heart and they do what they say. Their words are dignified. They lead with integrity, and that is from their heart center. He's very emotionally mature and he wants to keep growing into the King of Cups. So this person has a grower's mindset. His heart is expanding and it's expansive and it won't stop. They are looking at you at this time. Queen of Swords and the Four of Swords is giving me, you are in your headspace. You might be coming from a place of masculinity if you are a female. We all have both in us. But I feel like you are at a point in your life where you've been so much in your head with the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is very smart, very cutting. She doesn't take any shit. She doesn't get played, at least for very long, at the very least. She's on the good side. She's funny. She's witty. She's very intelligent. She can speak to anybody. And she has a lot of intelligence. She's smart. On the bad side, she can be cutting. She could be deceptive. She could play mind games. She could be mean, right? She has her sword, at her side at all times. And she has to use it in her masculinity. So when women are faced with life in a way where we don't have a masculine to help not to help, but to experience life with somebody, right? And you are taking on your life by yourself. You have to live in your masculine sometimes. You have to live in your feminine sometimes. And living in your masculine, going out and doing things, being the breadwinner, making the decisions, making all these, doing, maybe you run a business, maybe you are just in charge all the time, right? And then you get home and you still are in charge. Maybe you have kids, maybe you have people that you take care of. You're always making decisions and doing the things and being the leader. And you never have a time to sit back and take rest, to recharge, to go into your intuition, to have the space and the clarity to kind of go back in. You see how this girl actually is in her own nest and she's resting. The Four of Swords is all about taking rest. There's a heart and it's attached to a string right now. So I feel like this person or you haven't had a lot of time to take some rest and be in your complete feminine. If you're in the winter months right now, it kind of forces you to slow down. A lot of people speed up during the holidays and they run around. And if you take cues from nature, it's about slowing down, resting, sleeping more, rejuvenating yourself. Someone's looking at you and you both are in different spaces right now. One person is very open and ready to love. He's looking to love, and in order to grow as a lover, you have to be in partnership. You can learn a lot of things by yourself, but when you feel like you've done a lot of inner work, the next step is to be in a relationship, because that shows you a lot of things that you won't see by yourself. You could be the most evolved person individually, but until you are in a relationship, it just shows you different sides of yourself. Relationships are mirrors to you, and they are there to help you see things. And when you partner with someone who's gentle enough to help you grow and treat you kindly while you're resting, while you're learning, while you're going inward, these are the people that you want around you. You're very kind of cold and cutting right now. I don't think you have any emotional availability for this at the time. 10 of Pentacles. You're looking for stability, not love and romance at this time. I don't think I see you wanting to, be in a romantic state. You're looking at like long-term success. You're looking at stability. You're looking at a real loving situation, not situationships, not dating 5 people at the same time because none of them are good enough, not knowing, all that stuff. You're not in that state right now. You're sitting and you're like, you're resting and you're just taking a break. I feel like we have the 10 of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles sidelining you right now. So I think you're just in your head exactly of just being like, where do I go now? How do I get to the 10 of Pentacles? You're starting over. You're starting new things. You're all up in your head and in your masculine energy. You're really creating things right now. And you're being practical with your life. Meanwhile, there's someone else around you who's looking at you with like hard eyes. So who else with this Knight of Cups? What else? 5 of Pentacles. I think you might have come out of a relationship, and 10 of Swords. Yeah, look at that. 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Swords. So you definitely came out of something that was tumultuous. It definitely took some energy out of you. 10 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles together. Not fun. Not fun. You were let down by relationship. You were let down by who you were around. You were let down by love. So now you're just in your head all thinking just about money, practicality, stuff like that. I don't think you have love on your mind at this time. That doesn't really necessarily matter with this Knight. So what else with this Knight of Cups? Let's he's watching you kind of just level yourself out. We have the Ten of Wands. You're tired, you're stressed, you're heartbroken. You're trying to make decisions on what to do next with your life. You know, you're making all these like practical decisions at this time. Look at this Page of Pentacles. Look, you're all up in your pentacles right now. You're all up in just practicality, decision making, resting after heartbreak, being put out in the cold, a lot of deceitful energy. And now you're just looking about, you're looking about coins. You're all about justice and coins. I think you put love on the back burner, which is okay. You don't always have to be in a loving state, but there's just someone around you that is watching you and kind of almost like waiting for you to kind of catch a deep breath. They look at you in this way. She has a heart on her string again, which is interesting. There's 2 cards here with hearts. She has it on her necklace. She has it on a string, on her sword. I think someone is watching you heal your heart from the sidelines. They know that you're not in the right state. They admire this about you still. If someone can watch you struggle and go through really dark times and actually admire how you handle yourself, admire how you do things, that's pretty amazing. Wait until they see you do good things, like, or, you know, things that when you are in a good state of mind, gift, date, letting you know, surprise that they're thinking of you. This person still might send you a little flirt. It's the Knight of Cups. You know, he's definitely the romantic, one of the romantics of the group. He's on his horse. He's doing a dance. He'll wine and dine you. He'll send you flowers. He'll send you a sweet message. He's definitely okay with being in his heart center. And we have visit, unexpected visit, phone call, knock. So there's definitely someone here that might just surprise you out of nowhere with this little gift. Like, you're so in your mind right now of healing, gaining your bank account back. You're really in a money, you know, mind state right now, just making some, you know, resting your heart and keeping it on the back burner while you're growing your practical life again. Someone wants to let you know that they are thinking of you still. You know, it's interesting because you can tell someone that you like them, you could tell someone that you admire them, that you're interested in them, and also know that it's not the right time. And just, it's just a nice thing to say to somebody. It has no strings attached. It's kind of like giving someone a compliment on the street and knowing that you'll never see that person again. It's just for the sake of being nice, being good-hearted, spreading a little love into the world, being the person that, you know, puts out good energy into the world. You know, tell someone that they look good today. Tell someone that, you know, that was a really smart thing that they said, or you really liked how they did something. Give someone, anyone, a compliment, you know. So if someone wants to gift you a compliment or tell you that they want to visit you still, even though they know that you're in this resting stage, they still kind of want to like inch their way in and at least let you know that they're around you. They think that you might have options. Maybe that's why they think that you're holding back. That you're juggling collections. You know, you might think that this person is a player. There's players, addictions, juggling, connections, you know, options. So either or of you might think the other person is a player or that they have too many options. This person might not know exactly why you're holding back. They might think that you're just involved with many people. Meanwhile, you're literally healing, doing something along those lines. Like, you're actually dating yourself at this time. You know, like, it's not that you're against dating other people. You're just I don't think that you feel whole enough at this time. You need to nurture yourself. It says nurture your relationships like blooming flowers and they'll flourish, but I feel like the relationship with yourself is what I'm talking about here. You know, when you feel healthy again, when you feel happy on your own, like you're getting back into the swing of things, you got your money laid back out right, you're doing all right for yourself, and you're content with where you're going again, that's where you feel the most uplifted and happy. And when you feel open to inviting other relationships in, when you're in a state of all the stress and anxiety and not knowing which way to turn and all these negative thoughts, which happens to everybody. If you're in that state, you have to really go inward and rest and sleep and really start figuring out things. Go into your intuition, find time to go into your feminine, do some yoga, meditate, do good for yourself, sit in quietness or with some music that you like, and just meditate on what you want to see in your life going forward in this next year. Write it down and revisit it monthly and look at the list and go through the list one by one of what you wrote down and actually envision it happening for yourself. Like literally picture yourself going through each checklist item of what you write down, of what you want to see, and envision it in your head. While you're going about things, these are all intuitive things that you need time and space to do it. You need to heal yourself, and this is where the stage I'm at. But there's someone around you that wants to play. They want to let you know that they're around. They want to let you know that they see you, that they like you, even though they know that you're not ready for relationships. There's anticipation here. Embrace the sweet anticipation of love's arrival in your life. It's coming. It's coming whether you're ready for it or not. We're never going to be fully ready, ever. We can feel like we always need to work on ourselves, and we do. We're never going to be fully healed. We're never going to be fully at a place where we don't have to do any work on ourselves. It's an ongoing practice. It's forever. And it's a practice. It goes on. There's no ending to it. So even though you're working on yourself, give yourself a break sometimes and know that whatever you're attracting in, you're calling in from yourself. You call in a real loving, dignified person, man, in this reading, then yeah, you'll exude that energy, and you'll have guys that are more realistic in how you see the world. If you're in a state of anxiety, you're gonna find yourself meeting men that give you more anxiety, right? Whatever it is. So you have to start resonating the energy that you already want to feel, and know that there's someone around you that's anticipating this meeting. They want to tell you, they want to give you a gift. They want to tell you that they still want to go out on a date with you, even if it's not all the time. They want to see you, even if it's like once a month. It's just kind of keeping their name fresh in your mind. Not making any sudden movements, but knowing that there's a slow progression, and they want to keep the lines of communication open with you, no matter how much you have. You might be nervous to just explore with certain people, but just give people a chance. There's a proposal here. There's a lot of surprises. You might feel like this person comes out of nowhere, but lo and behold, I shit you not, that this Knight of Cups doesn't do things haphazardly. He makes moves and he makes plans, and they're usually romantic plans. So there's going to be some sort of romantic communication that you don't see coming, because you're busy working, getting yourself back to square one, the Ace of Pentacles, finding new opportunities for yourself so you can grow and find some stability with the Ten of Pentacles. That's your main goal right now, and healing your heart, because you've recently left something that has made you feel like you need to nurture yourself back to health, which is good. It's all good. And the right man will be able to see this, witness this in you, and even though giving you respect and space, knowing that sometimes you can't force things to happen faster than that you'd want them to happen. Everyone has their own timing and situations in life that occur. Just know that this person's coming for you.